Story of the century. Are you ready, babe? Welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your favorite girl, Bo Vintage, and today's video is a
story time.
This is the story of my deadbeat dad, the pastor. And you may be wondering, how the hell do those two things mesh? How is a man that is a pastor a deadbeat? I'm going to tell you. So, it all started in I'm gonna say 87 maybe? 88? I really don't know. My mom took a trip to Jamaica, and this man, I don't know if he was staying at my grandmother's house, my mom's mom. I don't know if he was staying there or what he was doing, but he was always at my grandma's house, and he, I guess, took a liking to my mom. And so, long story short, they got hitched. Before I was even a thought, they got married in Jamaica, and then my mom came back home, he was doing her thing, and then he finally got to come here. I don't know what year it was. She should have left his ass over there, but whatever. He gets here, it's all good and dandy, and my mom had already had 3 children. She was married before, got divorced. This is her new life. She's figuring, oh, he's a man of God, you know, he'll be a good man to her. Child, that wasn't the case. But that didn't, I wasn't there, honey. We didn't realize that until a little further down the line. So 1989 comes now. They probably married for like a year or whatever, and my mom's pregnant with her 4th child, which would be my sister. Obviously, I only have sisters, I don't have brothers. So my mom's pregnant with a baby. She has the baby, everything's good, blah blah blah. 3 years later, the baddest bitch alive in the freaking world is born, and that's me. So in 1992, I was born, and still everything's good and dandy. I'm assuming everything's good and dandy because obviously I wouldn't know because, you know, I was a baby, but I'm assuming everything's good and dandy because they were married for a very long time. If you know about the church and you know about being a pastor or a man of God, you know that the man is supposed to basically carry the burden. He's supposed to take care of his family. Not that the mom's not supposed to help or be a part of that, but the man is supposed to be the breadwinner. Now, 7 years into my life, so when I'm 7 years old, that's when my father got his first job. They were married for about 11 years before my dad got a job. The job that he got was selling vacuum cleaners, like literally door-to-door salesman. It's like, you know how in Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith gonna sell those things door-to-door and nobody's trying to buy them? That's what he was trying. I remember we had one of the vacuum cleaners that he was selling. I don't even know what company it was. It was not Hoover or anything like that. So he's selling vacuum cleaners door-to-door, probably not making any damn sales a day, kind of like working for World Vision. And that was his first job. He wasn't working there anymore. When I was about 8 or 9, he downgraded even more and became a damn shoe salesman at the shoe company. Literally, that's the name of the store, the shoe company, which I still love to this day. I love the shoe company. Anyway, my dad's selling shoes like motherfucking Al Bundy. Like, no, you're not feeding nobody selling fucking shoes. No, no. My mom's still obviously the breadwinner. My mom's in school working and taking care of a grown-ass nigga and 5 girls at this point. So she has 5 kids and a big old baby. The baby being my father. I'm not gonna get into like all the domestic shit that happened before my mom decided to up and leave this nigga, but there was a lot of abuse. Not necessarily physical abuse, to an extent. He did like to beat us, but not my mom. Oh my god, no. Just me and my sister. He did like to use spare the rod, beat the child thing a lot for like the littlest shit. Like, I think he just likes to be in control and have power. And so I remember one time he hit my sister. Not hit, he beat her ass with the Bible open. The Bible was open like this and he was just beating her ass, and I'm just like, oh my god, not literally her ass, he was just beating her. But yeah, he was abusive that way. Anyway, all the domestic stuff is happening. My mom's stressed. She's like, what the hell did I get myself into? Like, why won't this man be a man and take care of his family? Like, why am I doing everything? I'm Like, you know, I'm taking the kids to school, I'm doing this, and all this man is doing is sitting at home on the couch watching motherfucking Maury all day. Like, what are you really doing? Earliest memories of him, like, I remember him not, like, even being in kindergarten, 4 or 5 years old, I remember him not working because he would be the one, when I was in JK, picking me up in the middle of the day, because you only go to school half day. So he would come and pick me up, and then we would go home, take a nap, freaking watch Barney. Like, you know, he was a stay-at-home dad in a way, but like in the worst way possible, because he wasn't doing nothing for us. Before I even get into my mom leaving him, I have to kind of backtrack. Sorry if the story's all over the place. I have to backtrack because there was a time where my mom almost died. She had an acute appendicitis, and I was very young at the time, but I remember that time very vividly in my mind, because as I got older, I remember, or talking to my mom about the situation, she would tell me what my teachers were telling her, so that's kind of why. But I remember there's certain times that I remember. Like, I remember one day leaving the hospital, bawling my eyes out. All of us were in the van. We had a white minivan. We were leaving my mom at the hospital or whatever. We went to go visit her one day, maybe after church or something like that, and I remember leaving the hospital, being in the car, literally bawling my eyes out. No, I don't want to leave. No, I don't want to leave her. Blah, 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 all that stuff. And I'm like 5 years old. I don't know why I remember that particular day, but I just do. I'm getting emotional thinking about this stuff. So, yeah, there was a time my mom got really sick, and that meant that my father had to be the man of the house. Was he working? No. But he was the one that was left to take care of us, and this is the reason to this day I cannot eat ravioli, because all he was that's not funny. All he was feeding us was, one, when me and my sister woke up, forget the older three because they were old enough to kind of take care of themselves, but for the younger two, he was making our breakfast for us. But what he would do he would make, say we were having toast for breakfast, he would toast the freaking bread, only butter the center of the bread. And when I say the center, I don't mean everywhere except for like the border where the crust is. I mean literally the size of a freaking two quarters, like literally 2 quarters money. That is how much butter he would put on a big old slice of bread. Right in the center, dry ass bread. I don't know why, that's just what he did. Whatever. If he made a cereal, he was making, my mom always gave us brown sugar. He was making freaking shreddies with white sugar. I know that doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but it actually is. I prefer to keep the sugar the same color as the cereal. So if I eat cornflakes, I put white sugar. If I eat shreddies, I put brown sugar. But y'all know I don't eat neither of those. I only eat Fruit Loops, where you don't have to add sugar. You just add milk. So, continue. My mom got sick, my dad was forced to take care of us, and he was doing a very horrible job. When he sent us to school, he would literally just put ravioli in our thermoses, give it to us to bring to school. I remember he went to McDonald's in the night, got fish fillet or filet o fish, whatever the fuck it's called, which I don't eat to this day. I've never liked it and I never will. Put it in the fridge, french fries included, and packed it for us for lunch the next day. What? Like, babe, once you order McDonald's, you have to eat it right away. You cannot sit there. The fries taste like sponge. There is no microwave in elementary school. This is not fucking high school. Like, you can't warm up your food. You can't give the food to the teacher to warm up either. Like, it was just a really tough time. The man just doesn't know how to take care of children. I don't know. Whatever. This is still, like, that. This is not even the kicker, you guys. Like, this is not him being a deadbeat. This is just him being whatless. So, now we can go back to when I was like 9. So when I was about 9 years old, my mom decided, I guess, that she had enough. I remember my parents arguing a lot before she decided to separate from him. One day, and I was with the shits, okay? Out of all my sisters, I was with the shits. The 2 oldest had already moved out. It was only the three of us left that my mom was really taking care of, and one was about 17 or 18 at the time, so she was actually getting ready to be on her own. I remember the day that my mom, she must have got a call from the co-op in Scarborough that she wanted to move into. And when I say co-op, not Metro Housing, Please understand, this is not Section 8. It's just a co-op. It's a private owned co-op. She must have applied for this. We didn't know she did this, but she did. She was on a waiting list. They called her, said we have a vacancy. That same night, she packed us the fuck up and we left. And I remember this night like, whew, oh my God, I remember it. I just remember it. I remember it was a Friday night because we go to church on the Sabbath, right? My dad was in the living room being whatless, kick up, watching whatever he was watching, probably freaking CNN because he loves Larry King Live. Does that come on Fridays? I don't know. I'm just saying whatever. So he was watching whatever he's watching. And I went downstairs or whatever. My mom had already told us the secret that we leave in. I wasn't about to spew and tell nobody. I know my other sisters weren't going to either. I went downstairs. I saw my dad. My dad asked me if I know what I'm wearing to church tomorrow. I said, mm-hmm. Why are you laughing? Oh. I was savage, eh? I left the dress. I hated this dress. My mom made it for me. My mom's a seamstress. I hated this dress with my whole entire existence. I put the dress on my bed as if that's what I was gonna wear to church tomorrow. So if he went upstairs and he saw it, he would know that okay, she's gonna wear that to church tomorrow. I don't know. I don't remember when. I think my mom had rented a car, and she put us in the car or whatever, and we was driving off. Sayonara, see ya. This nigga wasn't having it. He was shocked. I don't know if she told him like right before she walked out the house that we're out, or like he seen us leaving, so he I don't know what happened because I was already in the car. All I know is this man was in his wife beater and shorts and lugs or Tims. They weren't Tims. I don't know what they were, but they were work boots. He came out the house chasing down the car. Nah, nigga, we out. We like peace. We're not gonna see you again. I was with the shits because I guess I kind of always just gravitated towards my mom. I'm not necessarily a mama's girl. I didn't ever really gravitate towards my dad. I guess my spirit just didn't take to him. We get to Scarborough and we're in the house that we have now. And I remember we slept on the floor that night because obviously we didn't bring any furniture. My mom just didn't want anything to do with our house in Pickering. So we moved into this house, and the very first night we put blankets out and we slept on the floor. Me, her, and my two other sisters. We just slept, and it was freaking awesome, and it was great, and I never looked back. I didn't think nothing of it. I guess my mom was trying to see, like, she wasn't really giving up on her marriage, even though this is separation time. She just wanted to see if he would get it, and that's what a lot of women do. Because especially when there's kids involved, like it's harder when there's kids involved to just leave, especially if you feel in your heart that it's reconcilable, but it really wasn't. So I remember once we were officially moved in now and time's passing, my dad was there a lot. When I say a lot, I mean like every day. He was bumming it. Like I don't even know, he couldn't afford to live in the place in Pickering because he didn't have a job. So I don't know, he moved into another pastor from our church's house, which is lame as fuck because you are a grown ass man that is a family married with children. You have no right to move into their home, like no right at all. What you do is you pick up the pieces, you fix your family or whatever it is that you need to, you figure out what's internally wrong with you that your wife would want to take your kids from you and move into a new home without you. Like, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Whatever. So he was there at my house a lot or whatever. Like after school I would come and he would be there or whatever. He didn't have a key. Let me make that very clear. He did not have a key. I would even take it as far as to say he wasn't really that welcome, but my mom was trying to see like where it was gonna go. So it got to the point where my mom still didn't see any progress, and he's still and unemployed, and he's just there kick up on the couch watching TV like he's doing at the house in Pickering. My mom's not having it this time though, so she said, no, you're not coming over no more. You need to pull your weight. I don't know what happened with the family that he was living with, but then he ended up having to get a basement apartment up the street from our house. And this basement apartment, y'all, like, it was just shabby. It was no place, like, for me and my sister to go visit him in this place and have to sleep there on the weekends. Like, nah, bitch. I wasn't having it. It got to the point where, like, years down the line, like maybe when I was like 12, I was like, no, I'm not going to church, I'm not doing none of this, like, you guys are on your own. I don't know, I thought I was grown, honey. I just realized how long this story is really gonna be. I'm gonna do fast forwarding a lot through my ages because the timeline is really long. From 9 to 24, it's too long, so I'm gonna have to really chop it up and try to get through things as quick as possible so I can just explain to you guys the kicker. Like, oh my gosh, okay. And my mom told me ultimately it's my choice, like, but when it came down to, this is even before the divorce, so when it came down to the divorce stated that we were supposed, it's shared custody, but like it was pointless. So instead of figuring out how to fix the problem, what my father did was he researched, I'm assuming he used Google, I really don't know because he's not that savvy, how to divorce. And he drew up the papers, and I remember my mom being so, like, she was caught off guard, like she was thrown, like, the fuck? How dare he? Because she never ever once even brought that up to him, especially because we're coming from the church or whatever. Divorce is a sin, you know, and he's a pastor, and we were literally a family in the church. We were a known family in the church, that it was like, I don't know, I would have been caught off guard too if it were me, but you know, she was just like, I remember at first she kind of refused to sign the papers because she was just like, no, fuck this, especially because she was making more, not even making more money than him, she made more money than him. He didn't make any money. He had nothing, no credit, nothing. And there was like even a point where he took he took my mom's credit card on multiple occasions and bought lottery tickets with them, like hundreds of dollars worth of lottery tickets. Still ain't win. Racked up her credit card to buy fucking lottery tickets, and then like he kind of like brushes it off like, oh, like, you know, like not a big deal kind of thing, but nigga, it is a big deal. And another issue that she had with him was that he would borrow money from people in the church, friends that she met through him, people that my grandmother knew. Like, he would borrow money from all those people and not pay them back, and it just, what? It's crazy, eh? And just, it took a toll on my family because he would lie and say that it's for this. Oh my god, when my mom was sick, that's when, like, she's literally on her deathbed. The doctors didn't know what was wrong with her. At first they thought she was pregnant, and then they thought there was a tumor and all this, and my mom was in the hospital for months, you guys. Like, she was not getting better. I don't know why it took them so long to figure out what was wrong with her, but like at that point he was begging people for money and just really bumming it, and we did not need the money. Like, we live in Canada, there are no hospital bills, we have OHIP. Like, he was lying to the church people, and this is a part of the reason he's a deadbeat, and getting money from them, not paying them back, and just creating a black cloud around my family. And this is a supposed man of God. So again, sorry that the story is all over the place. Jumping back into the divorce. Once the divorce was finalized or whatever and everything was set in stone, it was a matter of 50 motherfucking 50. My mom's gonna pay half, you're gonna pay half. 50-50. 2 is not that much, you know, if you're gonna make the children, take care of them, you feel me? So they made the divorce agreement, everything split down the middle, 50-50. He's supposed to pay child support every month, blah blah blah. Okay, checks coming late, checks not coming. You page him about it, and he has excuses, blah blah blah. So then you have to go to the lawyers again, and it was just a big stinking mess. It got to the point where he just stopped paying, period. And at that point, I'm like in high school. And that's another issue too. When I was in high school, you guys, my dad had one job. other than paying child support. One job. His one job was to make sure that my sister and I had bus tickets to get to school every single week. He would wait till he was supposed to bring them every Sunday. He failed to do that. There would be times where he would send somebody to bring them for us, or he would say that he's sending somebody and that person wouldn't show up. Like, where my bus tickets? I need to go to school. I really could give a fuck less if the bus tickets came or not, because I wasn't really enjoying high school. But that was beyond the point. The point was that the bus tickets needed to come. One night in particular, you guys, I called this man. Oh, I skipped over a lot of stuff. Okay, so after the divorce, very shortly after the divorce, and the reason that he asked my mom for the divorce in the first place was because he realized she's not giving him no more money. She's not gonna be his freaking support system to make him stand up on his two damn feet. So when he realized that, he went out and found a nice young girl. When I say nice, I don't really mean nice. Okay, he found a young black lady. Okay, dumb as ever. She was a nurse. She is a nurse. I guess he became involved with her, and I don't know too much about the relationship beforehand, but he wasn't good at hiding the fact that he was in a relationship. So when we were visiting him, one night in particular, me and my sister, or one weekend in particular, we went over to his house, you guys, and there were tampons in the or pads, sorry, in the bathroom drawer, and we knew that it wasn't the people upstairs. Obviously, I think I told my mom, but I'm not 100% sure. But that is neither here nor there. I remember I picked up on the shit. Okay, I picked up on it. He's there denying it, like through his teeth, lying about it, and then all of a sudden, dead smack 2006 come, and this man is getting married. What do you mean you're getting married? I thought you were single. I'm very confused. Where you freaking find this bitch at a brothel? Like, where did she come from? How are you getting married? When did you guys court? Like, all this stuff came. My mind's going like this, that, and the third. When he told me that there's gonna be a wedding and he has to take us to go buy whatever we want to wear to the wedding, my first thing was that I want to wear all white. And he knew I was being a little shady bitch, because he's like, all white? And I was like, yeah, I want to wear all white, because I wanted her to know that bitch, no. So he wasn't having it. I wasn't allowed to wear all white. I said, okay, then I'm gonna wear all black because I'm in mourning. I never said that to him. I told my mom. I said, I'm gonna wear all black. I made it known when I was there at the reception. I told people I'm wearing all black because I'm in mourning. That's what I told people. Anyway, I never took a liking to this bitch. To this day, I still don't. And I have my reasons for that, because she was petty. And I don't know if it's because she was young when they first got together, but like, I remember at my sister's graduation, she tried to talk to me. Woo! Child. Oh my gosh. Okay. Before I even get into that. So one night in particular, my bus tickets did not arrive. He wasn't answering the phone. Blah, 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 blah. I called this man, and I remember I had a journal. I kept a journal. I always kept a journal. And when I was calling him, I would write down the amount of times that I called before somebody would answer, and if they answered, I'd write down what they would say, and blah, 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 blah. I had a freaking tally chart, and the numbers were ridiculous, you guys. Nobody was answering the phone. Finally, somebody answered the phone, but they just stay silent. It's her. It's his wife. And this just pissed me off. I was probably in grade 10. And I was just so livid at this moment, because I'm just like, if you're gonna answer the fucking phone, say something. Don't just answer and fucking breathe. Not even put your phone on mute. Just breathe. Like, why? Why did you pick up? Calling down the number, and it's not like I'm calling for no reason. I'm not calling to bother you. I'm calling because you have a duty to fulfill, and you didn't fulfill that duty. So how am I supposed to get to school now? My mom's supposed to pay for me to get to school because she's not already putting food in my belly and doing all the other things that you're not doing? Like, no. So pick up, whatever. Hangs up. I call again. Another tally chart I start, and she picks up again, and she said, what? What? Baby,
What?
Baby, you're intrigued? I've never told him any of this. Okay, so she's So what? I hung up the phone. Tally chart starts over. I call. And you guys, I'm not, when I say over 20 times, I'm not exaggerating this. Like, this is exactly what happened. I was literally calling down the man's phone. It was house phone. It wasn't a cell phone, so they couldn't turn. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys didn't miss that. The point is, I called my freaking dad. He answered the phone talking about don't call his house ever again. I'm like, what do you mean don't call you ever again? You're supposed to bring me my bus tickets. You didn't bring me my bus tickets. How am I supposed to get to school? He's there arguing with me. And my dad is very sinister and very, like, when he knows he's in the wrong, well, he doesn't know he's in the wrong because he's a sociopath. So he thinks that everything, like, he thinks it's a game. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. He'll laugh. Like, it's not funny. There's nothing funny going on. And he's not laughing. Like, he's laughing to make you feel dumb. But you can't, like, and you know you're right, so you're just, like, it got to the point I learned how to deal with him, so I, like, now I don't react when he does dumb shit like that. But either way, this is what my mom was dealing with for years. I was dealing with it for years, and for some reason my sister, she, like, she damn, I don't know, she doesn't see it. She has, like, this soft spot for him. Like, she loves him to death. I can't do it. So he tells me not to call him, and I'm pissed. Of course I tell my mom this. My mom is fuming and is ready for, like, World War III. 1, because his wife is being shiesty, and 2, because he is just so disrespectful. Like, it got to the point, you guys, where I was praying for his death, and I just hated him so much. And I wanted him to die because I knew that he had a life insurance policy.
Hey,
what?
I'm cropping that up.
Why?
It's ridiculous.
But that's how I felt.
I don't care.
That's how I felt. That's not how I feel. Anyway, I wanted him to die. I just wanted him to go and never be seen ever again. Like, you know what I mean? I was hurting that badly that I felt like him dying would solve all my problems. You know, and it would take the hate out of my heart. I was ready to, like, jump on his grave, like, you know, I was ready to spit on him, like, you know, I just wanted him to just go. So that is how I was feeling at the time or whatever. And obviously when you're a little girl and you don't know that you have that emptiness in you, but it's there. If it wasn't, then I wouldn't be mad, you know. I would just be like, okay, whatever, bye nigga. Like, you know, I wouldn't be trying to get my bus tickets. So yeah, that was high school. And then the other thing too was, like, in high school, even before high school, like, if I had a field trip or something, and say the field trip cost $60 and I needed the $60, I would call my father. I would tell him how much the field trip was, and he would legit send me, like, $58.96. Like, the trip is $60. Where am I supposed to get the rest of the money from? Like, he would always do it, and it's a control thing for him. It's not that he doesn't have the money, it's that he wants to be in control. So I always would tell him a high number so that he would give me exactly what I needed. And so you just can't win with him. Like, there is no winning. It's always losing. It's very annoying, and I just was not here for it. I'm like, please, like, I'm praying, like, God, why me? Like, why is this the man that you have, like, why is this the man that is my father? Like, why couldn't I be Will Smith's daughter? Like, why him, Lord? Why him? Why him? I wasn't having it. Yeah, so I just could never get anything out of him. It got to the point too where I would make up, if I needed money, if I had like a prepaid phone, if I needed to put money on my phone, you can bet your ass I was making up a field trip and telling him about this field trip that I made up. I don't care if he knew I was lying or not. The point is that he would send me some damn money, because, like, you know, what else are you good for? If we're not gonna have a relationship, at least support me financially, honey, because that's all I needed at the time. And so he kind of felt a certain way, talking about, you only call me when you need money. Bitch, what else am I supposed to call you for? You told me to never call you again. So why, you know, what kind of relationship are you expecting to have with me? You know what I mean? And so over the years, I kind of sort of was able to, like, not necessarily get over it, but be more forgiving until he fucked up again and just fucked up again and just kept fucking up. And I'm just like, okay, no, it is too much. That's how I was feeling. It was just too much. And then fast forward to like right after high school. Oh, not even after high school. So my braces, the ones that I've been wearing for all these years, my braces are about $8,000. We can round it to 10 because I've had procedures in between the time that I started my braces, which I paid for out of my pocket, which I should not have had to do. My braces are $8,000. My father's supposed to pay $4,000. My mom's supposed to pay $4,000. My mom paid the whole damn $8,000. Okay? That's a lot of money to come from one person when there's two people that made the one person that the braces are on. That was fine. Like, he's always like, oh, send me receipts, bitch. This is not the shade room. We don't need to send you receipts. You know you're supposed to pay $4,000. That's all you need to know. You know where the freaking doctor's office is, or the orthodontist office is. Go bring your check, sign your check. That's another thing too. This man loves to write a check that will bounce, honey. He loves to write a bouncing check. He'll ask you. It got to the point where he was like asking my mom to not cash the check until this date. No, you owe the money for this date. Don't write no post-dated checks because we do not accept them. Okay, we are not the bank. We don't want that shit. Fast forward to after high school, where I decided that this is not okay, Mom. Like, you know, my mom was kind of like dusting it under the carpet, like over it, but I was like, no, we're not over it. You're gonna freaking take this man back to court because child support is something that you can't get out of. So I said to her, you know, let's go to Fro. If you don't know what Fro is like family, I don't know. Fro is basically where you go when your baby daddy is or husband is lacking and not, or your baby mother, whatever it is, whoever is supposed to pull their weight is not pulling their weight, and you need to get them involved because what they do is they get down to the nitty-gritty. They get your license suspended. They make sure you can't leave the country, because for somebody that never has any money or that can't pay child support, my father was frequently going on, one, vacations with his dirty wife, and two, freaking going to Jamaica back and forth. Like, what? Where is the child support? I don't care how old I am. The fact is that you owe the money, so you need to pay. It's the principle rather than the fact that it's more the principle than anything. Like, you know, just the money's already spent on my mother's end. She just wants it back. Hell, I want it back. When you don't pay your child support, you go either end up in jail or they're gonna take everything away from you. And so that's what I made her do. And she was so tired, and I kind of feel bad now for making her do it, but at the end of the day I don't, because it is what it is. Like, she didn't deserve that, so I made her do that. For a while we weren't in contact with them, you know, they weren't really updating us, and recently they contacted us and they told us what's going on. And funny enough, I guess my father wasn't too pleased. So if my license was suspended and I couldn't leave the damn country either, I'd be pissed too. But that's what you get. So he had called or whatever. He's like, oh,
I'm calling you to let you know that I want you to hear this before anybody else, and we will be going to court again, me and your mother, because and
I was like, what? He basically had asked my sister to ask my mother if we can meet up, all four of us, go to dinner and resolve the mess. It is 23 years too late, honey. Like, there is no resolving it at this point. At this point, it's hands up, cash motherfucking out. There is no resolve. Like, the resolve is that you pay what you owe, which is half of the money. And so while he was talking to me on the phone, I said exactly that to him. I said, so instead of, and I'm going to reiterate this again, child support is not something that you can come up out of. You can't go to court and fight it. It's not, you're not being sued, you know. It's your right, it's your duty. Like, that's what you were supposed to do. You shouldn't even have been let into Canada. I was like to him, so you're telling me that instead, and this is verbatim, you're telling me that instead of just paying the money that you actually do owe to my mother, you want to spend money on a lawyer to go back into the court system, knowing how draining it was in the first place, to do what exactly? Instead of just paying the money. He's like, well, he's ifing and butting, and then he's just like, how, what, that's not the case. Basically saying that my mom isn't saying that the money's not for me and my sister. He owes her the money, but you do owe her the money. Like, she spent your, like, she paid your half for you, basically, and so you do owe it to her because it's already been spent. Like, you know what I mean? It's not even a matter of, me and my sister are grown. It's not even a matter of him having to take care of us now. It's the fact that he didn't do it when he was supposed to. So now it's basically just backed up and piled up like racks on racks on racks, honey. And so this is basically the kicker. When he called me that day and I was on the phone with him, he stated something about protecting his interests. I never really understood it at first until I did my little research, because if there's something that you guys should know about me, it is that I am a federal investigator. Okay, ain't that right, boo? Mm-hmm. You know, I don't let shit slide. I don't let shit go over my head. I don't let shit get past me. My nose is all up in it. I'm very clever, very savvy, and I will investigate everything and anything if need be. So people don't like to play with me. So when he said that, you know, it didn't make sense to me at first, but then I gotten a job offer. The job was a collections agent. If you've worked collections before, you know what skip tracing is. If you don't, I'm going to explain it to you. Skip tracing is basically how, or the term that collection agents use to say tracking down, finding somebody. Finding a lead. You have to find a lead to find the person where they're at, get a new number, get an old number, call their friends, their family, something to stir the pot so that the person that owes the money will call you back. Because once you're in collections and you call somebody granny and you ask for them and they don't know how you got their grandma's number, but you got it through the good old-fashioned skip tracing, which there are like thousands of websites that we use to skip trace. I felt like if I never got placed into this job, I would never have even have thought to do this thing that I did. And I was like, okay, I get excited about this. Okay, so basically I said, let me skip trace this nigga. And skip tracing Canadian people is a little bit harder to do because all our shit is not just listed on the internet like it is in America. And when I was a collections agent, I was working for an American company and I was only dealing with the American clients. They had Canadian team, but I wasn't on the Canadian team. So I learned this and I applied it to my life. I skip traced this man. I was literally looking for a blog or something negative about him. Like, I was literally searching for that, like something to prove. I don't even know why, like not even to prove anything. I just wanted to read something negative about him that I didn't know already. That sounds horrible. Whatever. I just wanted, you know, I don't know what I was looking for. I don't know, but I was looking for it. At first I just searched his whole entire name. I didn't really find anything. So then I searched pastor in front, his name, and then the location, Brampton. I searched this, and by the way, he's very lucky I'm not putting his full name on blast, but I don't really need to because if the church people watch this, they already know who my daddy is. They already know who that nigga is. So when they watch this, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is the man that I'm letting govern my life. I came across this website. Before I even said that, he owes my mom at least $30,000 in back child support. Okay? $30,000. That's what Juicy J spends at the fucking strip club, okay? That is a lot of money. So he's like, so I find this, I come across this website, this kind of charity website, and lo and behold, my father's church, which I never really even knew the name of, he has his own church now. I guess his wife funded it because he still ain't got no damn job to this day other than being in the church. So I'm on this website now or whatever, and this website is basically like for Canadian donations to companies. It's kind of like, it's not like Kickstarter actually, but like it's like, I guess they consider the church a charity, so they donate money, and on the website all of the financial information is there. How much the church has been, how much money has been donated to the church, what they use, how much money they use for this and that, transportation, freaking everything, like literally rent, everything, literally everything is on there. The transportation was quite pricey. I think it was at about $7,000. I wasn't sure what the hell that was for. I don't know. I don't even care. But it didn't, like, the breakdown of the money didn't make sense. Obviously they updated themselves, but it's a big freaking sham. A sham, okay? The biggest sham since ShamWow. And I was just like, wow. Like, when I seen it, I was like, what motherfucking twist? This is crazy. I was so stunned that I came across this. I was like, Ash, you're driving me to Brampton. I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna go stand on the pulpit and preach about my father. I'm gonna go do this and embarrass him at his church. Huh?
Shoulda.
I shoulda? Oh, I still want to. But I don't know. I gotta let God guide me in terms of that. I'm gonna go stand up on there and embarrass him. This is crazy. The people probably don't even know I exist. Mind you, my father has 2 other children, of which I've basically never met because I don't fuck with his wife, number one. I, like, honestly, when I was young, I wanted to crush her. Like, I wanted to beat her up. Like, I was just, and to this day, I'm still kind of sick to my stomach that a woman that has kids by him, I don't even know how she let herself have kids by him. Like, to me, she's just a low down dirty bitch because, one, you were messing with him when he was still married. 2, which is neither here nor there at this point, but 2, you've seen how he treats his children, but she basically did the same to me when I was calling for my bus tickets that day. So, you know, I don't expect much of her, you know. She has a big nose and she's ugly, so it is what it is. Sorry. You know what? I take that back, God. I take it back. Anyway, so I find this great information. The church is worth, guess how much, you guys? Just throw a number out there. The church is worth $300,000. Look, when I seen that number, I said, Jesus, take me now, Jesus, because what you mean? That's almost $500,000. $300,000. I'm just like, to all the people that donated to this motherfucker's establishment, really? Like, I couldn't believe that. Like, I'm still shocked that I found this information, but I was just like, good, that's what you get. That is your like, what $300,000. And I believe it's been running for like 5 years now. But you couldn't dish out the $4,000 for my braces? Like, what are you taking the tithes and the offerings and doing with them? I remember one time my dad told me he was looking at BMWs. Bitch, what? What? This is the cheapest man on earth. He buys no name brand food. You guys. So, of course, with this newfound information, this $300,000 information, honey, I don't eat pork. Get that shit out of here. I went to... Can you have sauce, please? I went to... I don't want your pepperoni dip sauce, man.
I didn't dip in there yet.
Okay.
What are you talking about? That was the first dip.
Why are you feeding me? I messaged my mom. I said, LOL, I have a joke for you. I took screenshots of everything just in case for some reason this website just went away. For some reason I was just like, I'm gonna screenshot everything. Screenshots are definitely gonna save the world one day, okay? I email it to my mom. I call her, I'm like, yo, check your email. She's like, okay. She checks her email. 2 minutes later, she calls me back. This woman is cracking up on the other end of the phone. She's literally dying, laughing her ass off. I was like, I started dying too. We were both just cracking up, like, this is too good to be true. Like, what is this information? We sent that shit right to Fro. Fro said they'll take it into account and add it to the 500.
So, nigga, we coming for you. How come we come for you, nigga?
We coming for you, daddy. We coming. Guns blazing, motherfucker. That's why you should not be a deadbeat. Now, the reason I decided to share this story today, honey, was because I watched a video, and I'm gonna link the video down below, from the Pink Butterfly. I'm a part of a group on Facebook called The Real Women of YouTube. This video was posted in there. Today I was spending a lot of time watching videos on YouTube of other YouTubers, and also in the Facebook group I was watching everybody's video that they posted. And I watched her video and it really spoke to me, and that is a part of the reason that I wanted to share this. I was actually planning on sharing this before, but when I watched that video today, I was like, it took me like to another place, and it took me to this, not a place of forgiveness, because I kind of feel like I'm already there. It's just I just looking for a check, honey. I just want a check. That's all it is, you know. I want my mom to get back what she deserves, you know. That's kind of where I am. So the forgiveness part is there. Like, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of over the situation. Like, I'm almost 24. I have no reason to be clinging on to this hate and, you know, towards this man. I'm gonna link the video down below. If you are somebody with a deadbeat dad, if you are somebody who has feelings of hate towards your father, I want you to watch the video that I'm gonna link below, because she said one thing in the video that really stood out to me, and I'm not gonna say what it is because I want you guys to watch the video. And if you are feeling how I was, like in the video I stated that I wanted him to die and stuff, like if that's your feelings, then definitely watch the video, because when the part comes in the video where she says it, you're going to understand, or you're going to, like, you're just gonna be blessed, honey, and you're going to know why your father isn't in your life, and you're going to, like, you're just not gonna have that hate towards him anymore. So yeah, I love you all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video
half as much as we enjoy making food.
India. So I, Bo Vintage, will definitely be seeing you soon. Take care, you guys. Still no Trustfund, bitch. Yes.